Hey everybody, doing another collection video, this time doing Metallica. So, if you happen to watch the GTR episode where we did our favorite album from our top 10 favorite bands, Metallica made the list as number 5 for me. And I'm really not going to spend a whole lot of time on these albums. Mainly because I think they should be pretty well known at this point. So I'm going to go in chronological order. And first we have their debut from 1983, Kill 'Em All. Not much really needs to be said about this. Look at the back there. Most of my pressings are black. They're all, with the exception of probably like the last two reissues. Fantastic album. This was reissued on the Warner label in 2008 was when this was reissued. My favorite song on there is The Four Horsemen. Next up, Ride the Lightning, their second album, 1984. And this was released on the Blackened label. And I'm not sure what year. Really won't be able to find a lot of information on the label part here because this ridiculous blue on black makes it hard to read everything. My favorite song on this album is Creeping Death. Next up, the final album that they did with bassist Cliff Burton before he died a year later, 1986, Master of Puppets. And this one was also released on their Blackened label as well. And my favorite song on this album is Damage Incorporated. Next up is the first thing they recorded with new bassist Jason Newsted, the Garage Days Revisited EP. This also on the Blackened label. And this came, the Blackened issue came out in 2018. My wife actually was the one who bought this, the Master of Puppets, and I think the Kill 'Em All. I think the rest were bought by me. So this was recorded either late 87 or early 88. Not quite sure. And apparently, on the liner notes back here, they thank the one and only Ted Nugent for giving them some studio time. So I don't know if it was his personal studio or maybe they were sharing a studio and he gave them some time. I'm not sure. The production on this album is really good. You can really hear the bass on this album as compared to not hearing basically any on the full length that they first recorded with Jason Newsted. And that is And Justice for All, which is my favorite Metallica album, released in 1988. Also on the Blackened label, this is a 2018 reissue. And my favorite song on this one is Dyer's Eve. And next up, where the controversy really begins. Sometimes I think it can begin with Justice, but it really starts with this album. Better production, go away somewhat with the thrash sound. A lot of blaming on the producer for turning the band into whatever. And it's pretty, noted that they pretty much already knew the sound they were going for. What they tapped Bob Rock just to thicken up the production. So, and then of course I'm talking about 1991's The Black Album. This is also on the Metallica's Blackened label. And this actually, so it is black, but it's like a, I don't know if you can really see all that well, but it's got like a smoky kind of black and clear kind of vinyl look to it. My favorite song on this one is Holier Than Thou, because I think it still retains some of that thrash that they had on the earlier releases. And then next up, something I added to my collection. I was pretty stoked to get this. The sound isn't the greatest. I mean, it's okay. Most of the way through, I think Kirk's guitar is just not loud enough in the mix when it comes to the solos. But this is their set from Woodstock '94, and this one comes on a white label, or a white vinyl, I should say. Really good track listing. Pretty much what you would expect from like post Black Album tour. This was out on DOR Records, I guess. And this is their recorded set from, I guess, MTV showed. I don't know if they showed the whole thing, their whole set, but you got stuff that you're already familiar with. Bread Fan, Master of Puppets, Wherever I Might Roam, Harvest of Sorrow, Fade to Black, For Whom the Bell Tolls, Seek and Destroy, Nothing Else Matters, Creeping Death, Whiplash, Sad But True, One, Enter Sandman, and So What. And then next up, going further away from the thrash, basically it was supposed to be a double album, ended up only being a single. And to be honest, I thought this cover was fire until and I mean literally fire, I thought there was fire on the cover, until I learned that in the Behind the Music that VH1 did, that it was a mixture of semen and blood. And it makes a whole lot more sense considering the fact that when I thought it was fire, I was trying to figure out why would an album that had fire on the cover be called Load. And then once they said what it actually was, that it really clicked and made sense. This is from '96, also on the Blackened label. Gatefold. Favorite song on here, there's a few that could be, but I would probably go with The House That Jack Built would be my favorite on this album. And then the second part of that, released in '97, Reload. This is also on the Blackened label. Gatefold there. Between the two albums, I think I like Load a little bit better because I think Reload sounds just a tad more polished, production-wise. I just think the songs are overall better on the first one. And my favorite song on this one would be Prince Charming. And then next is their second covers album, full album, double album, Garage Inc., which came out in 1998. And this was also on the Blackened label. And this cover album was really important to me because it got me into bands like The Misfits and Discharge. Diamond Head, Merciful Fate was a huge one for me, and imagine my surprise listening to the Merciful Fate medley, and then going and actually listening to Merciful Fate and seeing that King Diamond's vocals are nowhere near what James's are. And then it ended up becoming an acquired taste for me with his vocals, but I really like them now. But, bands like Holocaust and Budgie, Blitzkrieg, really good stuff there. And I Nowhere League. And of course, you got to be rounded out with the Final Four from Overkill. Not really going to say what I have a favorite song with this because they are covers. So. And then, so I don't have either the S&Ms, and I don't have Saint Anger, which I'm not really hunting down unless I can find a pretty decent price copy of the bootleg that's got the snare fixed, which in my opinion fixes a lot as far as the sound on that album. It makes it a whole lot more listenable. If I can find that copy for a decent price, I'll snag it up. But like I said, I'm not hard up on really trying to find it. And then the next one they released, 2008 Death Magnetic. This is also on the Blackened label, and if I'm not mistaken, I think this was the first. No, this was on Warner Brothers originally. So I'm not sure when they reissued it. There's the gatefold. Also another standard black, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. My favorite song on this is All Nightmare Long. Then we jump 8 more years before the next album, Hardwired to Self-Destruct, 2016. And this was, I believe, on their label to start off with. So, the track listing on this versus the digital or maybe the CD version is slightly different, because on the digital version, which is what I heard first, Dream No More is on side 1, Am I Savage is on side 2. And I think it probably was done that way on these time constraints on the record, as far as being able to get the song on. I think Dream No More is longer than Am I Savage, so that's the only reason I could kind of come up with as to why they would have done that. And the cover art has a very reminiscent of Crowbar from one of their albums. And favorite song on here, I have a new favorite song every time I listen to it. But I think if I really had to pick one, I'd probably go with Dream No More, just because it really kind of sounds very sad but true like. And I don't have the Beyond Magnetic EP. I would love to be able to get that. That's probably going to be really pricey. But anyway, and then the last studio album they released, 2023, 72 Seasons. And the more I listen to it, the more I like this album. I'm starting to kind of like it more than Hardwired, and I like Hardwired a lot. This also on the Blackened label. And man, just kind of like Hardwired, I do get like a new favorite song every time I listen to it. If I had to pick right now, maybe Shadows Follow would probably be it for right now. Next time I spin it, it'll probably be something different. One of the very few albums that before the album came out, I actually did go listen to the singles, just because they're one of my favorite bands. So a lot of times when a band has a new album coming out and they've released singles for it, I generally don't listen to them because I want to hear everything in its entirety for the first time, and that way the album kind of flows and there's nothing I've already heard and kind of, you know, waiting for the next song to come on. But with Metallica, I pretty much always make an exception. But yeah, that's all I have for my Metallica video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. God bless.